What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Josie. Today we're going to be talking about The Last Voyage of the Demeter, a movie that I have been very curious about because I feel like it's been a long while since we've actually had a fun Dracula movie or at least a fun vampire movie. This film is based on a single chapter of the Captain's Log from Bram Stoker's classic 1897 novel Dracula, a book that I for sure have not read, and I can guarantee you that. But the story is set aboard a Russian Demeter, which was really chartered to carry private cargo, 24 unmasked wooden carts, and then this woman is found aboard, and suspicious things start to happen along the way. And like I said, it's been a long while since we've actually had a fun vampire movie or a fun Dracula movie on the big screen because I think the last time that we've had a fun vampire movie was back in 2007 with 30 Days of Night. I am in that 28% that I really enjoyed Dracula Untold. Please don't come after me because I really did enjoy that movie. But it's not perfect. I understand that it is a hot mess, but it was a hot mess that I really enjoyed and gave a thumbs up. But when it came down to The Last Voyage of the Demeter, we got an R rating. It is bloody. It is directed by Andre Ordeval. I do apologize if I butchered the name. He directed Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, a movie that I thought was better than it turned out to be, and an underrated horror movie that if you have not checked this film out yet, you should. It's called The Autopsy of Jane Doe, a movie that really surprised the living hell out of me. But you have Corey Hawkins in here, not in Autopsy of Jane Doe. Aisling Franciosi, I do apologize if I butchered that name. David Dasmalchian, Liam Cunningham, and the voice of Colossus from Deadpool. I would say his name, but I am too afraid that I'm going to butcher the last name. But the fact that we didn't get the review embargo lifted up until yesterday morning gave me really hard cautions because 9 out of 10 times it does not work out to be the best. But you know what? If you're going into this movie and expecting a bloody Dracula movie, you're going to have fun with this movie because it is bloody to the brim. I had a lot of fun with this movie. It is a little bit better than I expected. It's not perfect, but I still had a lot of fun with this movie. I think whenever Corey Hawkins is attached to a project, that always piques my curiosity because I think he has a level of charm and charisma whenever he pops up on screen, and he carries that into this movie just a little bit. It took me a little while for me to get into his accent, but once the film started going and you get rolling, you get to know the crew, his accent blends in with everybody else's. That also goes with David Alsmalchian. I thought his accent at first kind of threw me off, but once you get going, like I said, the same thing with Corey Hawkins, you get used to it. The thing that I really love and enjoy about Andre Ordeval's direction and style is that he is able to have that perfect blend of practical effects and and CGI. There is a lot of CGI in this movie, but I think they use CGI very well. And I think Javier Botet is fantastic as the body representation of Dracula. I think it worked when it came down to the practical makeup and the CGI. At times it does work, other times it does not work for me, mostly because he is shrouded in darkness, and this movie is really dark. You're out in sea, which is a fantastic premise to me because I love a single location premise where there is no way out for anybody, and you have to figure out how the hell you're going to get out of this situation using your smarts and your wills. And what I really loved is that it went balls to the wall with the violence and it did not hold anything back. I was really hoping that since we have a Dracula movie here, they would not sanitize this movie by making it safe because there are a couple of horror movies where they do play it a little bit safe just because the studio system is a little bit worried that there are things that happen that some people will be a little bit too sensitive to. And I'm glad that for one kill, they had the balls to do that because it has been a long while since we've seen something like that. And I really love it when a horror movie is able to push those boundaries. Now, I wouldn't call this a horror movie, mostly because there's really nothing scary about this movie. I would mostly put it on the suspense column, even though it is a little bit more of a horror leaning type of movie. I think there was more suspense than there were horror. And I think that is where I really lean on the positives a lot more. If you did not have that suspense there, this movie would have fell apart for me, because if you do not have any suspense when it came down to a Dracula movie, you're going to be very disappointed. And when it comes down to Dracula, if you're going into this movie expecting to already know everything about Dracula and wanting to see him in his glory, you're probably going to come out very disappointed, especially when it comes down to a lot of the CGI that we have with Dracula, because this is, in a way, more of an origin story than it is a Dracula movie. This is the origins of Dracula. So if you go into this movie expecting the Dracula that you already know and love, you're probably going to come out disappointed. But if you look at it through the eyes of an origin story, I think you're going to come out very pleased with this movie, because there is everything that you really want out of this type of movie, and it delivers on the kills. The performances, some of them are give and take, because I really enjoyed half of them. Some of them really didn't do much for me. But if you're really looking for a fun vampire movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter is going to be one that you want to be checking out on the big screen, because it is a lot of fun and there are a lot of kills for you to enjoy. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this film 3 out of 5 Draculas. But those are my thoughts on The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Have you guys checked it out? Are you planning on checking it out, or just waiting for it on streaming? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below and let me know, what is your favorite Dracula movie or story? Let me know.